Ethan Vale was known throughout the village for one thing above all else: his dreams. He spoke of them freely, passionately, and often. In the mornings, he talked about them while sitting on the stone steps of his house. In the evenings, he described them beneath the fading orange sky as neighbors gathered after a long day of labor. His dreams were detailed, vivid, and convincing. So convincing, in fact, that many believed he was destined for greatness. "I won't live like this forever," Ethan would say, gazing toward the horizon. "One day my fields will stretch farther than anyone else's. My harvest will feed hundreds. People will come from distant places just to learn how I did it." Ethan was 26 years old, young, strong, and intelligent. He had inherited fertile land from his father, land that many villagers would have given anything to own. The soil was dark and rich, untouched by years of careless farming. It held potential, enormous potential, and yet season after season, Ethan's land remained empty. Every morning as the sun rose, the other farmers walked toward their fields with tools over their shoulders. They worked under heat, wind, and rain. Their hands were rough, their backs bent, their days were long. Ethan watched them pass from his doorway. "Tomorrow," he would whisper, "tomorrow, I'll begin." He wasn't lazy in the way people often imagine laziness. He didn't sleep all day. He didn't avoid people. In fact, he was always busy, thinking, planning, imagining. He loved the idea of success. He hated the process required to reach it. In his mind, effort was something that could be postponed. Dreams, after all, felt timeless. He believed there would always be another season, another chance, another tomorrow. But the land did not share his belief. Weeks passed, then months, then years. While others expanded their farms, repaired their homes, and raised families, Ethan stayed exactly where he was, standing still, convinced he was moving forward. People slowly stopped listening to his speeches. Admiration turned into quiet skepticism, then into silence. Still, Ethan didn't notice, because when you are lost in imagination, reality becomes easy to ignore. One late afternoon, as clouds gathered low and heavy, an unexpected visitor arrived at Ethan's door. It was Elias Vale, Ethan's uncle. Elias was old, his hair silver and his hands deeply lined from decades of work. He had farmed through droughts, floods, and failures. He was not wealthy, but he was respected, and more importantly, he was wise. Elias walked slowly toward Ethan's land and stopped at the edge of the field. Nothing grew there, no crops, no rows, not even weeds strong enough to survive neglect. Elias said nothing for a long time. Finally, he turned to Ethan. "This land," he said calmly, "is more patient than people, but not forever." Ethan smiled, confident as always. "I know, Uncle. I have plans, big ones. I just haven't started yet." Elias nodded. "I've heard those words before." From his coat, Elias removed 2 small cloth pouches and placed them in Ethan's hands. "These are seeds," he said. Ethan looked confused. "They don't look special." "They are not," Elias replied, "until you decide what to do with them." He pointed to the first pouch. "These seeds represent ambition. If you plant them and tend to them daily, they will grow slowly. They will demand discipline, patience, sacrifice." Then he gestured to the second pouch. "These represent neglect, delay, laziness. They require nothing from you. No effort, no care." Ethan laughed. "Why would anyone choose the second?" Elias met his eyes. "Because they are easy." He continued, "Both seeds grow, but only one builds a future, the other destroys it." Ethan held the pouches, intrigued but unmoved. "I'll plant the right ones," he said confidently, "tomorrow." Elias sighed. He had heard that word too many times. As he walked away, he said one final thing: "The land will not wait for you to feel ready." Days passed, then weeks. Ethan placed reminder stones at the edge of the field. He told himself he was preparing mentally. He believed motivation would arrive on its own. It never did. One morning, driven by boredom rather than commitment, Ethan planted both sets of seeds. "Let's see what happens," he muttered. "I'll deal with it later." Then he returned to his habits: long conversations, late mornings, and endless imagining. Time moved forward without him. When Ethan finally returned to the field weeks later, his heart dropped. The seeds of neglect had exploded into life. Thick weeds spread across the soil, choking the ground. They grew fast, wild, and aggressive. They stole sunlight, they drank water, they left no room for anything else to survive. In one small corner, barely visible, the ambition seeds struggled. Thin, weak, dry. Ethan tried pulling the weeds, but they resisted. Their roots ran deep. That evening, Elias returned. He looked at the field and nodded sadly. "This," he said, "is the cost of delay." Ethan's voice trembled. "I wanted to succeed. I really did." Elias placed a hand on his shoulder. "Wanting is not planting," he said gently, "and planting without care is not building." For the first time, Ethan felt something deeper than disappointment. He felt regret. That night, he didn't sleep. He thought of every tomorrow he had wasted, every opportunity he had postponed, every moment he had chosen comfort over effort. And for the first time, he understood something terrifying. Dreams do not die loudly. They die quietly, while you are waiting. Before sunrise, Ethan stepped into the field. His hands shook as he began pulling weeds. The work was brutal. His muscles burned. His skin tore. The sun rose higher, but he did not stop. For days, then weeks, he returned to the field. He woke early. He worked late. He failed often, but he did not quit. Slowly, the weeds weakened. The ambition seed, once near death, began to respond. It grew. Not quickly, not easily, but steadily. Years passed. The field transformed. Where emptiness once ruled, crops now stood tall. Where weeds once choked life, rows of green stretched toward the horizon. Ethan changed with the land. He spoke less, worked more, promised rarely, acted daily. He was no longer known as the man with big dreams. He was known as the man who kept showing up. And that, more than anything, changed everything. Every person carries two seeds. One demands effort, the other demands nothing. The future does not choose for you. The field does not care what you intend to do, only what you do today. Stop waiting. Plant now.